when the whole A.J. Brown thing was going down, he was in contract negotiations. You had a press conference saying, as long as I'm the head coach, A.J. Brown will be on this team. And then all of a sudden, he's obviously on the Eagles.
Sure.
What was that?
Well, I mean, obviously, as the head coach, you want every player that you think can help you win on the team. And certainly had a great relationship and still have a relationship with AJ.
Yeah.
But then sometimes in the business of professional sports, things go a different direction. And that's where they went. Happy for AJ, happy for his family. And, we got compensated, and now we'll have to, keep doing it without him, just like we tried last year.
What's the war room like in a situation like that when that night is unfolding and happening? Obviously, they have cams in there. They try and capture reactions, but what's it like in that kind of situation?
No, I mean, a lot of those conversations.
Quick, you want to put some ice on that or something? You all right?
Tendinitis.
Yeah.
I should have brought my knee sleeve.
That the new, like the Monarchs, man.
You got to be ready to go at any moment.
You got some wide feet, brother.
Yeah.
And pizza feet. But a lot of those conversations go on.
Season out here.
Some of those go on before, like, you're on the clock, right? So, we traded whatever we traded this year, and you kind of have conversations, and that's those don't just happen in the 12 minutes or 10 minutes that you're on the clock. A lot of those times it's talked about before, and ultimately once they were on the clock, they made the deal.
What's the do you have any more on AJ?
I want you to take me in that war room. Like, what was the back and forth? Do you remember their first offer? Who called who?
I would say that everybody calls everybody in this league 2 weeks leading up to the draft.
Yeah.
I promise you. The coaches will talk. Coach starts at the combine. I think GMs will start calling each other. So to say somebody called somebody, I don't ever buy that, because they all, are talking about, hey, you're willing to move up, you're willing to move back, and then you just start trying to, figure out where things may go, or players or draft picks, and then, there's conversations all the way up to the draft, and then it's if we like the deal, we'll call you when we're on the clock.
Does it usually happen where if the Titans are on the clock, are you guys more likely to receive calls or send out calls?
Well, I think it's hard to send out calls when you're on the clock, because then you're probably, then you're pretty much, I don't know what kind of value you're going to get.
Yeah, you just
you just have to look and see what's on the board and see, what somebody's willing to come up and give you for a pick.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like if we're sitting there at, 57 or whatever, and somebody has a player, they'll call a couple out, like, hey, if our guy's there, would you guys be willing to move back? Sure. And then if they don't call, you assume that they're the player that they wanted got picked, and then it's like, well, who are you taking? Well, we're not, maybe we want the same guy. Yeah. And you play that game. So that's kind of how it works, in those later rounds.
When you were leading up to the game against the Eagles, obviously you probably had a big emphasis on, they have a great receiving core. They have a great offense across the board. When you get in the game and you see AJ doing what AJ's doing, is there a part of you that's like, man, good for him?
Maybe not right then and there.
Yeah.
Fuck no. You know what I mean? But
because
I try to look. Yeah, I mean, I try to look back and see. That game was a one-score game, and we jump off sides in the red zone, and we get pushed back, and we don't, finish the drive off, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Mm-hmm. The quarterback got hit and fumbled, and we couldn't do anything to stop him on big plays. But I don't know if I looked at it right then and there. I wouldn't say I'm happy for AJ, but not certainly that day.
Scored a touchdown.
I mean, he scored a touchdown and they called it back.
Not that day.
And then he did another one. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there like, holy shit, dude, this guy's just on a mission. You know how AJ is. Like he only needs someone to say something a little off, let alone getting traded, to feel like, all right, I'm about to go crazy on these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that knowing him that maybe there was, motivation. Again, it's negotiations in pro sports. Like you've been through it. It's sometimes they go in different directions. Let's just
After that game, the transition starts to happen for Jon gets fired. You guys bring in Rand. Can you talk about that transition as the Titans were moving on from a GM that had been here with you the whole time to finding somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great process. I mean, it was an inclusive process. Brought in a lot of great candidates. Interviewed some people in house that had been here, and then, ultimately went with Rand. And I thought Amy made an amazing decision, and it's been awesome to work with. Brought in some great guys. Brought in Chad Brinker and Anthony Robinson. So continue to communicate, continue to talk, work through the spring. I thought the spring was really good. I thought we got a lot of stuff done. I thought, our ability to work through the draft was really good. So just looking forward to see where we go here in training camp.
Was it weird moving on from a GM in the middle of the season?
I mean, we all work for somebody, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I support this organization. I support Amy. Jon hired me, you know what I mean? He was partly responsible. Ultimately, Amy had that final decision, but Jon was a general manager when I got the job here. So a ton of respect for him and the job that he did. And I think we all wish wouldn't happen, but that's, again, we're in professional sports and we know what we signed up for.